All right. The Hollywood Reporter has just released the top 10 new A-list actors. Um, so the list is Zendaya, Glenn Powell, Jacob Elordi, Paul Mescal, Austin Butler, Jenna Ortega, Florence Pugh, Anya Taylor-Joy, Sydney Sweeney, and Timothy Chalamet. These are the new A-list actors according to the Hollywood Reporter. James, do you think anyone of these people are A-list territory?
I don't know. I kind of have mixed thoughts because I've gone through the Hollywood Reporter article and just seen kind of what their criteria is to define an A-list actor, right? And the only thing that we can say is really objective about it is that they're young. This article is saying the young A-list actors, but it doesn't really define what an A-lister actor is. It seems to run off a survey they did with Hollywood agents and executives. So if it's trying to define an A-list actor based on this survey, then we can't really argue if anyone doesn't belong in that list because it's based on people inside the industry rather than outside, such as me and you. But if we look at what an A-list actor is in terms of just the, I guess, standard definition of the way most people would view it, because for me, the way I view what an A-lister actor is like there's a lot of criteria, I guess, but the main two is they're either going to bring you money or they're either going to bring in money or they're going to bring in Oscars. If they do both, then they're a megastar, or one or the other. That means they're an A-list actor, and they consistently do that through every kind of movie. Then they become an A-list actor. And if we run on that definition of what an A-lister actor is, then there are some ones where you can kind of argue against these. So I'll go through what I think, but I have a bunch of names here that I want to run by you, and I just want to see where you're at. I've made no complete or I haven't formulated an opinion in my mind just because I want to see if I want to see what your take is, so then you might be able to persuade me into a different kind of thinking. But at least from what this list is for the Hollywood Reporter, I would say that the clear locks and the ones that I would agree with is Zendaya, Glenn Powell, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Sydney Sweeney, and Timothy Chalamet. I think they're safe bets. They're safe locks. You put them into a big movie, put a budget behind them. I think they can bring good money. I think the others still have room to demonstrate their pull in terms of box office or being able to campaign for Oscars and such. So I think 6 locks. For you, what would your locks be?
Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Butler and Florence Pugh. I don't think, well, after Furiosa, I think her reputation as a drawer has been shot in the foot. Sydney Sweeney, I think she only became popular ever since, well, she was popular in Euphoria, but she really broke out after Anyone But You. Glenn Powell, I think he's getting really, really, really close. Ever since Top Gun Maverick, he's exploded on the scene, and I'm really interested to see how he does for Twisters. If he can bring in some good money for that, then I would be convinced he's the next A-lister.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega, I think she's only just riding the highs off Wednesday, to be honest. I think she's done nothing that great drawing-wise, so she has to actually do something proper. Maybe Beetlejuice, we'll see, but I think that's just going to be a nostalgia run, but it's a win for her. And is that, who cares about the other two? Jacob Elordi and Paul Mescal, they're way too
4 to 5 you would say are locked right now. Glenn Powell's on the edge.
He's there.
Yeah.
Depending on Twisters, he'll get there.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Sydney Sweeney would be on the edge as well. As for my locks, I think she's would be at the bottom. Probably with Timothy and Zendaya at the top there. But the one person they left out, who I would say would be at the top of the list, Tom Holland.
Yeah, I had the same thought too.
I looked at your list and I had to double check. I went to the Hollywood Reporter list and I was like, oh my gosh, he's not there. Like, what?
Unless they already consider him to be an A-lister.
But he came onto the scene at the same time as Zendaya because they started in the same movie. Obviously.
Maybe this list is their new list you know, so they had a previous list and then this is a new list, so maybe
Mm.
on the previous list. But yeah,
But
I was thinking
yeah.
about the same thing at work today. I was like, hang on, where the fuck is Tom Holland?
Yeah, because I
Like-
mean, reading the article, it says that these are the new things that are going to take over Hollywood. Like these are your new stars, pretty much. And I'm like, no, Tom Holland deserves to be there. He can act. Sure, he's made some bad choices in terms of roles
And
outside
he can
the
draw.
MCU. He can what?
Majority of his he can draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like he's been in $2 billion movies, a $1.9 billion movie. Granted, they're MCU, but still, like you can't. I was thinking that Hollywood Reporter was taking him out of the list because of its MCU rise. Like that's what's gotten him to the A-lister territory. But you know, Florence Pugh's part of the thing. Zendaya as well, obviously. Like those projects in the MCU have helped their status go up. So yeah, Tom Holland, I think we can both agree he's a lock for an A-lister. This conversation gets a little bit more interesting by the end of next year, but David Corenswet,
Nah,
he's coming. He's coming.
Nah,
After
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'll put him on that Jacob Elordi, Paul Mescal tier. Like he can get there, but he's just, Superman will be the first thing I've seen him in. So for
Yeah.
me, I probably wouldn't. And if it does bring him money, I think it'd be more based on people wanting to see James Gunn's take on this new universe rather than himself.
True, fair. But I think Superman will be the one where people get hooked onto who David Corenswet is. They'll go back to his previous movies, and then he'll start getting his own kind of following. Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
It gets
Similar
interesting.
to Glenn Powell, except
Yeah.
Glenn Powell did the opposite.
But he's very close to Jacob Elordi, I think. Like, if you put him on the top 10, I'm not going to argue against it. It's something I would consider. But perhaps at the end of next year, we can have that conversation again. Another name I thought, Harris Dickinson, Triangle of Sadness, The Iron Claw. I think he's on the rise, particularly in the same boat as Paul Mescal. It's not, except, you know, I think Paul Mescal has, what does he have? After Sun, another movie as well. I know he's got Gladiator 2, but Harris Dickinson's been in, you know, probably more well-known movies that are in that Oscar territory than Paul Mescal, so I don't understand.
He's not the one from 1917 as well, eh? Or is that a different actor?
No, that's
No,
different.
that's someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. So he can be considered, I feel, but probably still doesn't have the filmography behind him to get the same
Yeah,
kind of
like-
draw.
He's like a lower tier one. He's one to keep an eye on for the future. Same as Kaylee Spaney.
Yeah. Sadie Sink. She could be considered. You know, coming off the Whale, an Oscar-winning movie actually. Stranger Things, the most popular Netflix show ever. Maybe not in a single season spurt, but throughout Netflix's history, it's the most popular one. But then we go to the Stranger Things star, Millie Bobby Brown. Why is Jenna Ortega over her?
That's a good point. And she's been a lot more. You know, she's been in Enola Holmes and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
So she's
Godzilla
spawned her-
and Godzilla,
Oh, yeah.
King of the Monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second one as well. Whatever. Oh no, the third one.
Yeah.
As well. So she's definitely been in a lot of high budget movies, and she's a good actress as well. So I'm telling you, Jenna Ortega is only popular because of Wednesday. If she wasn't in Wednesday, no one would be frothing her.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, I know she was in the two Scream movies, the rebooted franchise, but they didn't blow up at the box office or anything. I think they did respectfully well. But then Millie Bobby Brown's in Godzilla, and that did good. And whatever she seems to do on Netflix seems to be really, really big on that platform. So, you know, if they're looking for a Netflix star, it's not Jenna Ortega. I would say it's Millie Bobby Brown, clearly. But Jenna Ortega is coming up. Like, revisit this in a few years, and I could see Jenna overtaking. But at this point in time, no.
Yeah.
Kaylee Spaney, we just spoke about her.
Oh, definite. I reckon probably not made it on the list, but she's definitely there. If not going to be there.
Yeah.
She just seems to be picking the right roles, and it's all working for her, and she's giving consistently fantastic performances. So I think Alien Romulus will cement her.
Yeah. This one's probably not a big one. Margaret Qualley. But I think she's like a Yorgos child, if you know what I mean. Just in those Yorgos movies.
She definitely has potential. I mean, her. I'm not sure if you've seen Maid, but she's absolutely fantastic in Maid, the Netflix TV series.
No, I haven't. Yeah.
She's fantastic in that, and that's probably where I see like this potential in her. She just needs to pick less supporting roles and actually go for a main role and test herself.
Well, she was in Drive Away Dolls, which I watched this year. One of the Coen brothers who did his first movie, and by himself without his brother, and she was leading in that. She was good, but yeah, I feel like she's going to break out at some point. But one to watch. Isabella Mercedes. I don't know how we want to say it.
I swear she's been on the cusp for like so long.
Because she was in Dora the Explorer as Dora.
Yeah, and Transformers as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's what's coming for her is it's going to break her out. She's in Superman as Hawk Girl. She's in The Last of Us and Alien Romulus. That's an upcoming slate. That's huge. Those are 3 massive roles in really big projects. So I think, yeah, she's going to be there. You could argue this over like Jacob Elordi, Paul Mescal, but Barry Keoghan, you know, he's not only in, you know, those indie movies by those, you know, all-tier directors, however, you know, we want to frame an A-lister, but he's also in stuff like The Batman. He is in other big stuff as well. So I would put him in.
I'll put him in the same category as Millie Bobby Brown as to why the hell he's not on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, Banshees of Inisherin, Oscar nominated, Oscar winning as well, I'm pretty sure. Can't remember. Saltburn as well. It may not have gotten a lot for the Oscars, but awards prior to that. And then, like you said, Batman, yeah, he had like a 2-second cameo in it, but he's going to be in Batman Part 2, and he'll be in a lot more as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like...
Oh, and Green Knight.
Green Knight, yes. But when it comes to, you know, Saltburn, Jacob Elordi and Barry Keoghan are both in that movie. And who is getting the kind of the most awards claim or awards buzz? Barry Keoghan, not Jacob Elordi. So you got to really consider that. Barry Keoghan's probably your better bet to bring in Oscars at this point in time. And then we get to some people that are kind of older, but, you know, the Hollywood Reporter says, you know, young, new A-listers, and they have Glenn Powell on this list, and he's 34. So I got some people around that age. The oldest one I got here is Robert Pattinson. He's 38, but we would...
Nah, I think he's already made it.
Oh, so he's older. Like, he's in that older A-lister.
Yep.
Miles Teller, 37.
I mean, he was in Whiplash.
Yeah. I mean, like...
And Top Gun.
And Top Gun, yeah. When you're talking about the faces of Hollywood for the next 20 years, I don't know. I'm sure he's 3 years older than the oldest guy on the Hollywood Reporters list, but I would probably consider him. Under that 40-year threshold, I would say is respectable.
Probably.
Yeah. Then you got stuff like Daniel Kaluuya, 35.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, is he that young?
Yeah.
I thought he was way older.
Nah, so, like, he can be a part of this. I don't see why not. If Glenn Powell's going to be old and do this, or be on this list, then I think you can have these. Taron Egerton, he's 34.
Oh, yeah, why is he not? I guess he's, like, simmered down, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been in, you know, big draw movies. He's, you know, been in the awards buzz with Rocketman, stuff like that. And then we get to one that could be in the future, Nicholas Hoult. He's 34. I blew my mind that he's 34 years old, but he's 34.
I thought he was way older.
Yeah, I know. I feel like he's been around forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's 34.
He's the same age as Glenn Powell. He definitely should have been on there.
Yeah, and at 34 years old, he might have the biggest list on here in terms of like
filmography.
Yeah, like what, X-Men, Mad Max. What else has he been in? He's been in other stuff.
He's gonna be in Superman soon.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. I don't think Hollywood Reporter got it right, but I think they did a good job in getting at least over half of them right. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Well, what do you guys at home think? Do you think we are wrong and we're idiots and these guys are A-list territory, especially Jenna Ortega? Let us know in the comments below and give your reasonings why she is an A-list besides Wednesday. Thank you. All right,